everyone, this is my first ever moto vlog. I'll tell you a little bit about me as we head on up this road, but I'm in Tenerife. I'm with my pal Gordy, who's behind me somewhere. You'll see him later on. And we've come up to Tenerife for about 5 days. This is day 2 of exploring the island on some hired bikes. I'm on a Suzuki Gladius. It's a 650. Quite a nice bike. It's kind of a street bike. It's naked, very naked at the front, as you can see. And we're heading up out of Los Cristianos. And we're going to try and get to up to the top of Mount Tidi, which is the highest mountain in the whole of Europe, I seem to believe, or have been told. So we're going to go as far as we can. This road, I've put the camera on. I've got a GoPro set up on the side of my head. This is really experimenting for me as to exactly where I want the positioning of the camera. But I wanted to turn it on for this road we're going up. We came down this road yesterday, and it's just one of those gorgeous winding roads. There's quite a bit of traffic. You see it's 43 kilometers to well, it isn't the summit, but there's a viewing park up there and the cable car, and we're going to try and go up the cable car, not on the bikes, obviously. But we'll see how far we get. Yesterday it was freezing cold up there. We only got halfway up. We were only exploring the island, got halfway up the island, halfway up the summit to about 1,500 meters. We're in the clouds, it was raining, and it was really cold. We've got some gloves and some extra layers and things in Gordon's little unit he's got on the back of his Kawasaki Versys. So we hired these bikes. I'm pleased with mine. It's a very smooth bike, and I've got a Harley Iron back home, so it's very different. But this is the kind of bike and most people pass their tests on in the UK. Something like a Bandit or something like that. So we're taking it easy, getting used to. Obviously I'm on the wrong side of the road, which many of you watching this will be the correct side of the road, but we're on the right side of the road here, and in the UK we drive on the left. So taking a little bit of getting used to positioning and looking left and right, and how aware I am of things going on. And you can see, probably a bit hazy on the GoPro, but you can see hopefully a bit left and a bit right as we're entwining up these roads. See the hills in front, we're going way above those, way above those. Doesn't look like there's any cloud today, but if there is any, we'll be in that and above that as we head up to the summit. And just maybe up there you can see the summit in the distance. I don't think the GoPro will pick that up. These roads are quite cracked and bumpy on some parts. There's a bit of oil in the middle, you can see it's dry, so it should be okay. I think we're heading towards a place called Villa Flor, I think, which is as far as we got yesterday. It'll be quite cold up there. We'll probably stop. We need to get some fuel at some point. There's no gauge on mine. I have a warning light, I've been told, which could be too late if that comes on. So don't know where all the petrol stations are. But there's some nice little villages we're coming into here, and you know, this is January, and back home in the UK we've got snow and ice, and I'd like to get this online quite quickly so I can gloat to all my friends that this is the kind of riding climate we've got. But it's about 20 degrees Celsius, which is about 70, I think, Fahrenheit. It's early morning, it's about, well, it's 10 o'clock. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll head in for some fuel, and I'll turn off at this point when we go in. So I'll catch up with you a little bit later on. Yep. Well, hello again, back on the road. Just filled it with petrol, fuel, gasoline, whatever you call it, wherever you are. Just filled up. There's a lovely stretch of road coming up in the next few miles, and I'm really keen to record it. So, number one, I can relive it, and my pal behind me can relive it, and you guys can relive it. So we're going to be heading we're heading north through the island, and upwards to, I think, about 2,400 meters, and then there's options to go on a cable car higher right to the summit of the volcano. Caught me out that corner. I was trying to remember yesterday where the corner started, but got that bit wrong. We'll be doing these kind of roads for the next few miles. I'll try and pass this van at some point, but keen to take it easy actually, and just get the feel of the bike and the roads, and not too bothered about being the only thing on the road. A lot of cyclists here, a lot of these Tour de France teams and the Sky team, they all come over for winter training over here. They've got the altitude, they've got the good quality roads, the climate to do it. When we were coming down here yesterday, there were parachutists or paragliders on these hills using the thermals to go really high. Again, just not sure how tight this bend is. I think it's quite tight because we're let's say 180 degree. You see there's some kind of grease in the road here. Stay clear from. Don't know if you can pick that up on the GoPro, but there is some kind of fuel or something in the road, I think. Okay when it's dry, I think, but don't really want to throttle up on that. So you can see, I don't know if the GoPro can find it, you've got the winding road all the way up here. So whilst we're going up here, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm 40 years old, terrible, and learned how to ride last year. Always wanted to, never did it. Turned 40, had a bit of money, thought go on, I'll do it, and so I did, and fell in love with the Harley Iron. That's what I wanted. And big shout out to Sean Smoke, where he is in Washington State over there somewhere, I think, who I watched lots of his videos and really, you know, got the kit. Talked to Sean quite a lot about the type of kit I wanted to do something similar, and maybe, you know, maybe give some other people a chance to have a look at what it's like in the UK. You know, riding an Iron. Don't have the kind of roads that Sean has, but we have different roads, you know, hilly, twisty, turny roads. There's Gordon, probably getting a bit impatient with my inexperience, I expect. He's on a Kawasaki Versys. He kind of likes that upright bike. We didn't quite know what the roads were going to be like on here. Gordon's been riding for a good number of years. I think ever since he's been a kid, I think he's been riding. I'm not as confident yet, but we'll see. So what I'll probably do, I'll shut up for a bit, and if this is recording, because it's the first time we've used the GoPro as well, let you enjoy some of these roads. And best bit of advice I received from when I was learning was assume everything on the road is trying to kill you. Good example back there with that 4x4. You can just tell now. I don't have gloves on. I've got gloves in the back of Gordon's bike up there. But the temperature's cooling down a little bit now. Legs are getting a little bit cold as we're high enough, going higher up into the mountains. no cloud at all today, really. We've been told by the locals there's something called a Kalima at the minute, which is the Saharan winds. If you know, Tenerife is off the coast of Africa, about 80 miles away, 90 miles away, I think. And we get the Saharan winds coming in from the east, and it brings in lots of sand and a haze. In the summertime it can be really hot, really hot. They're quite surprised, the locals, that it's here already in January, so there's a lot of sand in the air. So it won't help the views. Don't think you'll pick up really far in the distance with the GoPro, but if you do, then that'll be good. So again, we're still climbing. I don't know if you can tell on the video whether we're climbing or we are climbing still quite a bit. Well, I'd say we're about only less than a quarter of the way up here. See unfinished houses there, villas, the view to die for. When we come down, hopefully, if I've got some battery left or some space on the card, you'll see. It's a beautiful view in front. Hopefully you can make that out. Still a tree-covered hills there. That's again where we're going. There will be no trees. I got a feeling the last eruption for Mount TD was in 1903 or 8, possibly. Nothing since. No murmurs, no nothing. And I know Sean will be watching this, and Sean lives quite close to Mount St Helens, and when I was at university I did geography, and we did a lot about Mount St Helens and the destruction that caused. And I only just remember, as I would have been about 6 years old, I think, when that happened. I can just remember it, and I can remember sand on dust on our cars from that eruption over in England. So one thing I'd love to do, Sean, is to go over there and ride with you up Mount St Helens, or around Mount St Helens. That'd be great. You can probably tell by my voice, this is quite a bumpy little road. Some of these corners are a bit chopped up, but they're fine. As you can see, there's hardly any traffic up here, which is great. So, a little bit about me then. I'm a teacher by trade, and my father was a teacher. I love my job, but I'm not teaching kind of at the minute. I'm a freelance consultant, helping schools wherever they are, who want to use technology to impact their standards of writing mainly. So I travel the country and further afield, America and places like South Africa, supporting schools who want to do that. And I love my job, and it gives me a little bit of flexibility to do things like this, be able to come away when everyone else is working, and I don't feel too bad. I spent the summer when everyone else was on holiday. I spent half the summer in South Africa working in the schools there, so I don't feel too guilty, just a little. So I hit a little bit of traffic here. So Villa Flor is where we're going to try and head to. I speak zero Spanish, which is terrible, isn't it? But I speak a bit of French, understand a bit more French than I speak, and gonna try and adjust my helmet. So ooh. There we go. I had to rent a helmet. It's quite heavy on the forehead and a bit sore, if I'm honest. Might need to pull over and adjust that. Gordon a bit of a... his indicator's on. Oh, he didn't realise what I meant. I was just beeping because your indicator's on. That was all. It's a nice place to stop though. I'll tell you, this helmet's on my forehead's hurting me. Yeah, just want to just adjust it if I can. There's not much padding at the front. Right there. Hey? No.
You could do if you bandana on your head.
Could do.
Huh?
No, I'll be alright.
Oh, yeah. That was nice. I like a blast on them winding roads.
Yeah.
Good.
I just I did the first corner and I was chatting away to this thing.
Yeah.
It kind of caught me out.
Oh, they come past you?
No, on the very first corner of that Twines. Had to slam on a bit.
When I went up and down them tight corners, I went into one and I changed down a bit too abruptly. Back in went.
Yeah, go for it. I'm just doing a bit of a test with the visor open, see what kind of audio quality I get with the visor open, because it's quite nice. It's still quite warm here, so but I can hear the whistling, so I'm going to put it down, and I expect that's a lot better. I can hear myself. Tauce, whatever it's called, Baco something, that's where we're heading to. There's a junction there, we've got a map that we've been looking at, studying, but there aren't that many roads in Tenerife really. So only a few main roads going up there and everything's pretty well signposted, so you can see TD 25 kilometers. I don't know, twisting and turning roads, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Pinot Gordo, he'll like that. Our little Gordon in front, he'll like that. Pinot Gordo. It's a shame there's a mist. You can't really see the views. Very well. Won't be picking up on the GoPro. I'd love to have brought my Harley down here, but on these roads a bit heavy, possibly just my first ever experience, I suppose. But the thing is, with these roads, you don't actually know what kind of bend you've got. Sometimes you can have an absolute hairpin. Sometimes it can be a gentle, easy bend, but oh, this is just gorgeous. Look at this road. It's warning us of bends. You don't say. Some more cyclists coming up here. I do a bit of road biking back home, and take my hat off to these guys. I am planning on coming here with my road bike. You can get bike boxes. I need to do a lot of training to be able to do these roads though. Last year and the year before I did something called the Way of the Roses. It's a coast-to-coast track from the west coast of England to the east coast of England. 170 miles. And it was a really brilliant thing. Really enjoyed it. So I need to get training again. There'll be a lot more training than what I did for that to be doing these. Apparently you can get up to the summit, they say, in 4 hours on a bike, on a road bike. I think it'll take me a lot more than that. The guy that I ride with back home on the pedal bike is an Ironman triathlete, John Sutton. He's a very, very, very accomplished cyclist. Probably doesn't think he is, but he is. Heading through some really nice forest areas. There'll be a point where we go above the tree line. I mean, we're high up as it is. Don't know how much further the tree line will go. I also don't know how much memory. I've got a 64 gigabyte little SD card, which is the size of my fingernail, little fingernail, in the GoPro. Sean kind of told me it does, on the settings that I've got it on, about 10 minutes is about 6 gig, so 100 minutes, an hour and a half, possibly. We've only been going half an hour or so, less than that I think, 25 minutes. See up in the distance, the horizon right at the top, there are still trees, certainly a long way to go yet. Rocks falling for 3 kilometers. So I'm sure some of you will be wanting to offer me advice on my riding. Feel free to do so. Although I'm 40, I'm still in my first year, so learning all the time. That's why I wanted to do it. I love learning, and what better way to learn something that your life depends on, whether you're doing it properly or not. It really makes you think about what you're doing. I remember when I first did my in the UK, if anyone is watching this who's not in the UK, in the UK now you have to do quite a strict test system of, mine was a direct access course it was called, and it was 5 days. The first day you do your CBT, which is a standard that anyone riding a moped or a little up to a 125 has to do to get your CBT certificate. Then I did 4 more days of road biking and a theory test and a mod 1 and a mod 2 test. And the mod, I really enjoyed it, but the mod 1 test, the slow control, was really quite hard for a newbie. Kind of okay with that stuff now. But slow control, figure of 8s, emergency stops, you can have your avoidance at speed type of tests. Harder than I thought it was going to be, but passed it all first time, and ooh, caught me out a little bit that corner. Feathered the brake a bit. I'm getting carried away talking to you guys. That guy looks like he's shaking his snake. I don't know. Didn't look too bothered. Look at that down there. You would not want to leave the road there. You can see the tree line at the top where the trees stop. My hands are getting quite cold now. It's getting high enough up to make a big difference to the temperature. I don't know what the temperature is. I expect it must be about 7 degrees, 8 degrees now, maybe. Less than that. It says 3 kilometers to snow. So I know there probably is snow on the peak of Mount TD. I think the roads tend to be pretty clear. So these bikes we hired, just found a place online, and this very, very nice chap called Patrick, who runs the company, came and delivered the 2 bikes to the airport. They cost for 5 days. We got them for 300 euros, which is about 240 pounds, which will be about, I don't know, $400, I don't know, something like that, for the 5 days. My Gladius is in really good nick, fairly new, some 25,000 kilometers. So it's done a lot of miles, but it's in good nick, smooth. Looks fairly new. Not sure for the registration plates over here what year it is. It's nice. Gordon's not as impressed with his Kawasaki versus the Cis, don't know how to say it. Not as happy with his, but a bit older. It's been dropped a couple of times, I think, but you know, that's what you're going to get when you're renting a bike. I do want to put my gloves on now. Getting to the top of the tree line. It does say it's a national park here. Have a lot of protection orders on it, I expect. Park of natural beauty. Well, we are going to, I think tomorrow we're heading off to another island. A short hop away, about an hour on a boat, is a sorry, La Gomera. I was thinking El Hierro, but La Gomera is the island we're going to. I've been there before. I've driven some of the roads on a car. It's quite a small island, and it said they were at 2,100 meters. So I think we're about, I can't remember on the map, maybe 600 meters from the summit of where we can get to on the road. Then there's a cable car that takes you up to the top. I think that might take you another 1,000 meters. Is it 3,700 or something? The summit. I may be wrong. Going down a bit. Look at that for a road. Can you see that? I hope you can see that over there. Beautiful. Really changing out of fourth gear at the minute. We're going slightly downhill. If any of these corners catch me out, I've got a bit of engine braking to help me. Bit of traffic up here. I would like to put my gloves on, actually. Hands are going pretty numb now. Oh, I could just see the peak. Just when we get round the next few corners, I'll hopefully be able to show you the peak. It's still a long way up. Canada Blanca, some kind of viewing park here. Here you'll see the lava fields from the eruptions that have happened over the years. Absolute barren landscape. So I'll sign off here, but you can see Mount Teedy up there, I hope, and the cable car on the right hand side going all the way to the top. Hopefully you can see that.
Now a minute, I think you might need your gloves.
Yeah.